Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about habit number, it's habit number 8, which happens to be keeping correct posture, maintaining eye contact. Don't expect me to keep great eye contact throughout this whole video. Obviously, if you're listening on the podcast, you won't be able to tell either way, so that's a good thing for me. So this is something I definitely constantly need to remind myself of. There's so many benefits. I mean, especially if if you're a guy and you're listening to this, when it comes to meeting women and things like that, there's a lot of sort of power and things that go into eye contact and maintaining eye contact, and just how much of like an emotional sort of signal that can set. I know even just talking to people casually, I try to maintain a lot of eye contact with them, but not to the point where it's like overwhelming, like you're in a staring contest or anything. So in the 30 Days of Discipline program, you're basically asked to maintain eye contact with everyone you come across. If you're in a hallway, you're walking around work, you don't want to actually be like staring at the floor as you walk around and just like ignoring everybody. And I know even for myself, like I have a habit of doing that, where I'm just sort of doing this and I'm not like holding my head up high and really sort of walking and portraying my body language with confidence. It's definitely going to matter when you're going out, especially trying to meet women and things like that. I know it would show sort of a lack of confidence, maybe, if you're really showing this poor body language, just not being able to do these kinds of things, or being really shy and afraid and things like that. So it definitely is something that sort of comes with time and practice, and it's a big effort thing. I know another thing for me is, I sit at a desk all the time. I'm going to get into the posture thing because that's another big thing. Is for me right now, I've always sat in my office chairs like as low as they can possibly go in the lowest setting. I don't know how many of you out there do that. I know a lot of my friends, sometimes I'll sit in their chairs, like if they come to my house and they've been gaming with me or something, and I got another computer here right next to me. I might sit in their chair and I'll be like, whoa, like they've got it like raked up so high that I'm just not used to it, because the way you have to sort of portray your body and the way you need to sit, it's so much different. I've always been used to it being so low, but admittedly, that's probably not really, it definitely isn't good for my back. Definitely not good for my posture. I'm probably doing a lot of like inward leaning. Sometimes I'll even find myself where, if you're watching on the video right now, if you're not, sorry, but what I'll end up doing is I'll just like slouch and sort of like fall back into my chair. I guess if you can picture this, I'm basically like my shoulders are almost at the level of they literally are at the level of the back of the chair. So I'll just like slouch down and I'll be like sitting on my phone and just kind of sitting on Facebook or whatever. And then I realize, and I'm like, shit, what the hell am I doing? I'm sitting here like falling backwards in my chair. My whole body is like crunched, It's terrible for you. Like, it's something I have to constantly remind myself of. So with this challenge, I mean, lately it hasn't been something I've thought about. I just do those things out of habit. Another big thing that I've been doing is while I'm driving, I typically will like have my hand over the steering wheel on the top, and I'm doing like one of these where I've got my kind of like I've got my shoulder leaned in, and my right hand is down near the shifter, so I'm kind of like shifting my front left shoulder in, and it's causing my body to like, it's just not natural to be like sitting like this. So I've been constantly reminding myself I'll put my hand at the bottom of the steering wheel while I'm driving, and it allows me to I'll just straighten out my body so my shoulders are level, and I'm not twisting my body in these weird positions, or I know a lot of people when they drive, especially standards, they'll keep their hand kind of in the area of the shifter, or maybe even keep their hand on the shifter. So I'm like constantly doing that. It's definitely not a good habit to be in. So I think the biggest thing with this challenge is that it's basically giving me that thought in my head that I need to remind myself not to be doing that like all the time. So that's something I've actually really been struggling with. This particular habit is one of the worst. I'm basically constantly correcting myself, figuring out the best way to sit. And I know there's just a lot that goes into it. something I did do, which I mentioned earlier, was I did hike up my work chair and my office chair here at home, so I'm able to sort of, sit a little more straight and not feel like I'm, like in the ground, like kind of like hunching over and doing all these other things. So I'd say, hopefully within the 30 days, it's only been really less than a week at the time I'm recording this. Hopefully, I'll see some better results in my posture, and just kind of remembering to try to maintain a better posture and maintain more eye contact with people that I come across, and sort of portray a more confident image when I'm walking around, especially now that I'm obviously dressing a little better because of the challenge. Talk to you later.